Hey guys, it's Proud Cat Lover. Today I'm going to be making a video with Raja. So he is my corn snake. So he has been on strike for a while, and not surprising, and he hasn't really lost much weight. I think that so far he's lost maybe 3 grams, I think it is. So I think he was pretty close to 200 grams. I think he's about 196 or something like that. I weighed him recently, so I'll put like the weight on the screen or whatever. It's either in the 80s or 90s, like gram-wise. So he obviously is a bit underweight because normally they're supposed to be about 100 grams every year of life. So if Raja is going to be 2 this year, or 2.5 or something like that, he needs to be at least 200 grams. So he went on strike on February 11th, and he didn't eat till about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So last month he ate a small mouse, which is very small compared to his normal meal. Of course, I was happy because he ate, at least. And at least he's still his nice loaf size, so his spine isn't showing or anything, so that's obviously a good sign. But anyway, I had been trying to feed him rodents that I had got from somebody that was not my normal supplier, and I don't think that he liked them. So I have got rodents from my regular supplier that I get them from, which is online instead of from an actual person. And I'll put the website in the description and on the screen. But of course, the link will be in the description so you can click on it. The website that's there, I have never had problems or issues with feeding their mice to my snakes. My snakes always like them. But with Raja, I had traded some rats that I had that had been for my ball python in the past that I wasn't able to keep. And so I traded some rats for some mice with this guy that lives in my state. And they looked fine. The mice looked perfectly fine. Now, I don't know why. For some reason, Raja ate a couple of them. And then all of a sudden, he didn't like them anymore. So he would eat the mice from my regular supplier. Anyway, I was not aware that when they were going to send me the mice, that they're all brown. So I don't know if Raja is going to eat them or not, because I don't know how he feels about brown mice. He has had white mice before. He has had white mice with brown spots, but he has never had brown mice. And for those who do not own snakes and don't know the issue, snakes prefer a certain color. They prefer a certain type, whether it be mice or rats. They will not associate the other type with food as they do with the type they're being fed. I don't know why, but that's just how their brains work. So if a snake gets fed white mice all the time, and then all of a sudden you try to give it a brown mouse, it might not associate that as food. So I don't know if he's going to do that or not, because where he has had ones with brown spots, so I'm hoping because of the fact that he's had ones with brown spots before, that he won't mind. Now this is more common with ball pythons, I've heard, because a friend of mine has a ball python and it will only eat white rats. She tried to give it a brown rat and it wouldn't eat it. So I'm just hoping that he's not going to do the same thing. I'm hoping that he's just going to be like, it's food, no matter what color it is, but I don't know. So now that you guys are caught up, I'm going to go ahead and put him in his little temporary little tank here for when he gets fed. And I'm going to try to offer the mouse to him, and we'll see what happens. Now, it is a medium-sized mouse. The mice before were large, which were perfectly fine for him, because they're not supposed to be any bigger than 1.5 times the width of your snake. So the mouse was perfectly sized, and these ones are a bit smaller, but I would rather he have a small meal than have a really large meal. As long as I can just get him to eat, I'll be happy. So I'm going to go ahead and get the mouse, make sure it's correct temperature. I will say that I have this nice thermometer here that reads temperature when you hold it down, so 73.5 in my bedroom, which I already know to be true because all of my thermometers say that. So I'm going to go ahead and check the temperature of the mouse, and if I put this against its body, then it'll actually check like the actual temperature of the body and not just the outer temperature. So it's always a good idea to have one of these if you're doing frozen thawed, because you don't want it to be too hot, because you don't want the snake to burn itself, but you don't want it to be under 90 degrees. Like, I like to give them to them when they're at least 90 degrees, but I shoot for more like 102, just because I feel like that's closer to their actual body temperature. I don't know. I just feel like that's a good number to go with. So I'll go ahead and just show you guys what I do. I always have a rag laying out. I get my little tongs here. And I have this cup weighed down with my 100-gram weight, just to keep the mouse from floating to the top so it actually stays in the water. all the way anyway. Okay, come here. Not used to doing this with my left hand, so I'm not as coordinated. I don't want to drip onto my storage totes. Just put that back in there. Okay. Dry it off a little bit before I take its temperature. So it looks like it's at 105, so that's fine. Okay. Now Raja's not super duper prey crazy, so I'm not too worried about him trying to actually bite me. But we'll see what he thinks. I mean, at least he's looking at it. Maybe thinking about it. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and switch to hyperlapse so you guys can watch this at a little bit faster speed than this. Brown mice. He actually, if you guys will notice, before the hyperlapse part started, he actually like looked at it and was like, boom, like that, and grabbed it. And that was actually pretty funny. And now he's looking at me. He's like, are you talking about me? Yes, we are. So it definitely, I think the issue is that the mice were from a different supplier, and so that's probably why he didn't like them. So I'm happy to say that this person that I go through, the company I should say anyway, definitely does a good job with their mice. I don't know what it is that he likes about them, the smell or what, because obviously it's not like he's tasting the meat or anything, because obviously it just, oh, and now he's looking over at my hand. I wonder if he wants another one. I might have to heat him up another one. That's funny, because look how he's looking at my hand. I might have to get him a second one. I'm going to let him, well, actually, that's a really big lump that left in there, so I'm probably not going to feed him another one, because I don't want him to regurgitate his meal. But I have never seen him so crazy for prey. But, yeah, so I'm super duper happy that he finally ate a pretty decent sized meal compared to the tiny mice that, Ashir gets. Ashir is actually getting moved up to small mice, which is the size down from that one. She had just been on a different type of small mouse, and so this time the small mice that I got are a different gram weight, so they're a little bit heavier, but they still are small enough to where she can eat them, because she obviously is a lot smaller of a snake, even though she's getting pretty beefy and like weight-wise. So, but anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good rest of your day.